Alright guys, here's our foam roller. This just happens to be the one I use. Any particular roller. Even half roller like we use here, we use this for some of our clients. Or just your traditional roller will do the job. I mean, there's really no specifics on what roller you're going to use, other than the fact that, like, if we're rolling our spine, and obviously this needs to be like the length of our spine, it's better to use a big roller just for ease of use. Even in that case, you can take the smaller roller if that's what all you have, and you could prop your butt up with a pillow or something, and basically mimic having the big roller. So it's not really a huge importance to have the big roller. If it's if you have one and you want to start with a small one, then that's fine. But in reality, we want to find a roller that's going to have enough pressure for us, but not too much pressure for us. So starting out, some people say that the Rumble roller is a little too aggressive for them. I'm obviously a junkie for this stuff. I've been doing it for years now. And I need an intense amount of pressure in order to get release on my muscles. So we have to realize that our bodies are a big representation of gravity. So whatever way we've worked out, whatever way we've used our bodies to do athletic performance, training, anything, sitting, standing, whatever we do, we basically mimic the way gravity pushes down on us. So if you want to break down tension, then you want to make sure that you have enough pressure from the roller that you're using in order to break down that tension. So we basically have to do more than what gravity's been doing to us, or more than what we've been doing in our workouts or our training or our performance exercises, whatever it is. So taking all that into account, you want to make sure that you have a roller that, one, fits you as far as like what you can handle. Two, you want to make sure that you eventually have an assortment of different tools. I use a ball. I use the big roller. I have a smaller roller, which I will do a bunch of videos with you guys that I'm working with now. It's called the Peanut. But essentially, you can start with almost anything. I mean, I use everything from the roller to mason jars. When I'm at family's houses or something, I mean, now we always travel with it, but there's been times where, we're at somebody's house and I'm trying to demonstrate something to them, we're hanging out having a barbecue or something like that, and somebody's got pain and I want to show them a couple things. Where I'll use anything, household items and stuff in order to do it. I use the wall a lot of times just to break down my traps and lean against it, if I'm stuck somewhere and that's all I have to use. But as far as the roller goes, I mean, that's basically it. So a lot of times you got to look at how old my roller is, how much I've been using my roller, how beat up it is, because they do break down. Especially these kind of rollers. This is obviously the half one, but the full one, it will break down over time. The Rumble roller will break down, where these little knobby things actually become pretty squishy. They start out where they make you insane when you start using them, but they will break down. So you want to also look at how long you've had your roller, how beat up it is, and when do I need to change my roller. So a lot of times, as you roll your muscles, you're basically going to break down tissue, but you're also going to create more density in the muscle. The muscle will actually respond by getting stronger the same way it does when you're doing a workout. So when you're doing a workout, you're basically breaking down tissue, and the body responds to what you're doing with it to allow it to get stronger. So essentially, when you're rolling, the more you roll, not the harder it is, but the more time and the more attention you're going to have to spend on each spot in order to actually get it to do what you want it to do. That's a good thing, though. That means you're actually improving, you're progressing, and you're actually making progress with the tension in your body. So that'll work towards visual aesthetic, that'll work towards the strength that you have, that'll work towards feeling less pain, that'll work towards, everything. It'll make your brain feel better just because you don't have as much pressure around your neck. You won't have headaches if you're a person who experiences headaches. You kind of want to take any roller that you use and use it long enough to where you get familiar with these things that I'm talking about, because obviously you're not going to be right off the bat like I am, or my wife, or anything like that. You're going to take time in order to learn these things, and that's what we're here for. We're going to teach you these things over time. So you'll get your roller and start getting familiar with it. Start realizing, like, did I spend 3 minutes on this last time and then have to do it a few times, and then the next time, it just progressively got harder and harder to get that same release that I was looking for. And if that happens, it may be time to upgrade to a new roller. Either a new brand new version of the one you have, or to maybe think about, you know, asking us if there's a different option out there that'll basically get you a new type of relief that you're looking for or take you to the next level. But overall, that's it, guys. So I mean, just to sum it up, so if we have a big roller, there is some different things that you can do, but it doesn't mean that you can't do the other things with the small roller. So is there any roller that won't work? I would lean towards saying no. Will it do what you want it to do as fast as you want it to do and as effectively? Maybe not. But overall, I mean, that's really all it is. You know, don't get something that's killing you. Don't get something that's like a foo-foo massage, because in reality, yes, some of this does suck and it's painful and it's tough to endure for a lot of people initially, but that's a telltale sign of what's going on in your body. So when you think of it that way, then you need to realize that some pain, as long as you know what you're doing, and that's what I'm teaching you here, is good pain. So good pain, if done right, will get you relief. And you have to go through some pain with this, you know, but doing it, you'll notice that time and time again, it'll get easier and easier and easier. And there's always going to be some spots, if you're somebody like me who trains hard, that are going to be tough. You know, the quads always, they really are never fun to roll. You know, getting into your psoas and your gut and everything like that to make your waist smaller, like I always show you the before and afters on Instagram. Those are tough. There's certain areas that, you know, like it's not really fun to push on. So, you know, if you have any questions on this, just ask me. I'd be glad to advise you on what's the right roller. I can tell you a lot about where you've been, where you are now, and where you're trying to go. And based on those questions, I can figure out kind of like where you need to be and what roller would probably be the best for you. I normally get the full version of this for most people to start. And I like to have both of those, honestly, because I can use this roller to warm up what I'm going to do with this roller. And you'll notice if you use something a little less aggressive in the beginning, that it makes it a lot easier to jump on something like this, but this might have a different type of stimulation that actually gets you the relief you need and releases muscles that this maybe won't, simply because this one doesn't have, you know, any protruding spots or, you know, whatever the case may be. Rumble rollers, probably my favorite. I'll show you the P-Knot on another video when I do a tutorial on that. But your simple black density roller would be a great way to start. And if you can get the Rumble roller, there's a soft version of it. But I would honestly say just start with the black roller, and then just move up to where you add in the black Rumble roller. Go for the extra firm, just because with the blue, you know, soft density Rumble roller, I just find that people end up wishing they had got this roller. So when you think of it that way, just wait for the right time to buy this one. And then I would honestly, once you get used to this one, I would use this and the P-Knot, because that's what I personally use. The P-Knot is just two balls connected in the middle, and it gets into some areas really well. So between the two of these, you can really knock out almost anything. I mean, I use it every single day, and I don't find anything I can't get into. But yeah, so ask me if you have any questions. And basically we'll be giving you all the tutorials, so I think over time you guys will figure out what's right for you anyways. And then just figure out, as you learn, you know, different tricks and new things that you can do and new exercises you can do with this to help you guys relieve some pain.